Storm 2 is the favorite game for a lot of Naruto fans, and it actually makes sense. The story, the visuals and the gameplay are so stunning in this game. Compared to the previous Storm game, CC2 worked really hard on this game to deliver this masterpiece. So that got me thinking, how actually did they do it and how was the development process? Well, with this video I will try to answer that, because this is how Storm 2 came to be. Storm 2 was released on October 14, 2010 for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Yes, starting from this game onwards, all of the Storm games will be released for the Xbox system as well. In an interview, Hiroshi Matsuyama with Desconsolados, when asked regarding why this installment is coming to the Xbox 360 as well, had this to say: "The PlayStation 3 and 360 versions are identical. The reason for moving to multi-platforms is that Naruto's fame is not limited only to Japan, but reaches the entire world. Therefore, there are many Naruto fans, and to reach more people, we decided to make the 360 version." In the same interview, Hiroshi Matsuyama talked about how much the series creator Masashi Kishimoto was involved in making this game. Since Kishimoto publishes the manga every week, he has not had the opportunity to be extensively involved in the development of the game. However, Mr. Kishimoto has approved both the arguments and the drawings. The studio that is in charge of drawing the manga for televisions has also supervised or worked on the drawings. While creating the Storm 1 predecessor, CC2 put a lot of time and research into the movement and animations of characters. They put a lot of effort in merging the aspects of gaming and animations together. That is the reason why this game has a lot of animations, starting from running right up to the animations in the in-game cutscenes. In order to achieve this, the creators spend a lot of time watching the anime and reading the manga materials. They have multiple huge bookshelves that each hold countless amounts of Naruto mangas for the team to read and research. All of the animations are actually hand-drawn by the artists. Before making the animations in-game, the animators usually hand-drew the sketches of the animations. For characters, they first create a concept, then they try to decide if this animation concept actually fits this character's traits, personality and so on. Once this has been done, they create the animations for the characters. CC2 has its own animation style that is called Kamisakuga, which means paper animation. This animation tries to interpret the animation into video games. Before the release of Storm 2, on the Bandai Games channel website, a developer by the name of Senkoishi wrote a small blog post about the upcoming game. In the blog post, he talked about how the team wanted to recreate the look and feel of comics during the video and cinematic sequences. This required going through the game, adjusting elements to fit this objective, while ensuring the gameplay remaining responsive. All the sequences were worked out beforehand using storyboards, then the gameplay elements were created before the aesthetic and sound design parts were added. While creating this game, CC2 took into consideration user inputs regarding how they felt about the first Storm game and what they would like to see in the upcoming Storm title. They not only took into consideration the gamers' opinions through email, but secretly monitored the Naruto fan pages and forums in which people discussed what they would like to see in the upcoming titles. Sadly, this doesn't happen anymore before a game is released. One case where the fans' complaints were taken into consideration was in regards to online play. In the first Storm game there was no online, so the fans were not able to battle one another in the first Storm game, except maybe in local battles. CC2 understood the fans, and this game included online play, which was a great addition, but sadly it wasn't perfect because of the poor netcode. In an interview with VentureBeat, Mr. Matsuyama answered 9 interesting questions about the game. One question was, what aspect of the development process has been the toughest for the team and why? To that, Mr. Matsuyama had this to say: "It has to be the overall scope of the game, since it is about 3 times as much as the previous one. Second was making sure the art was of the best quality and that it accurately represented the anime. Trying to balance these challenges during the development process was a real challenge." In the same interview, a question about why Lars from Tekken 6 was brought into this game, Matsuyama said that, "Well, it all started back sometime last year from when I saw an article in Shonen Jump magazine in Japan which said that Naruto creator Kishimoto Sensei was designing the costume for Lars for the console version of Tekken 6. The moment I saw the article, I thought it would be great to see him in Storm 2. Then I saw the costume design for Lars and my thoughts changed to, we have to get him in Storm 2. From there, I approached Sasaki-san, Tekken 6 producer at Namco Bandai Games, then the Tekken 6 team members. We started making the graphic models and then placed our special cell shading techniques, and voila! The whole team looked at it and said, yep, that's him alright. Next we focused on creating the animations, effects, jutsus, etc. and other details. With the teams throughout feedback and Harada-san's help, we were able to bring Lars to life in the Naruto universe. Since this was the first game to have trophy support for PlayStation 3, when asked, many gamers are on the fence about multiplayer achievements and trophies. How will this game tackle those? Matsuyama replied, we made it so that achievements and trophies are not unlocked using rules such as X amount of wins, X amount of times in a row to unlock XX. I want to make sure However, everyone has a good and balanced shot at getting all of them, so please have fun. Funny thing is that they still made the online trophies/achievements with the same formula, win X amount of times in online mode. In another interview with Pulpo Frito, Matsuyama was asked about why the ultimate jutsus have become shorter in this game. He said, "These scenes have been shortened to make the online mode much more fluid and thereby achieve a superior playable experience." As well, when asked regarding DLCs for this game, he said, "As I said before, we consider the number of characters included in the game to be reasonable, and we do not plan to increase it through DLC. And I'll tell you the same thing about jutsus," which is an interesting stance considering the last game had characters and mission DLCs, which were free though. But it kinda makes sense since the game lacked missions and characters at that time. For the creation of this game, as said before, they took experience from creating the previous Storm game and made some adjustments to the flow of the battles, added the new gouge system for the support characters, and as well upgraded the battle AI to be more responsive and better than the previous game. As well, for the first time, CC2 introduced the so-called anime expressions into this game, which makes some scenes like Jiraiya's last moments more impactful. This was made so that the specific moments would be in the fans' minds for a long time, since these moments are crucial in Naruto's story. After a year had passed since the Storm 2's release, CC2 released a new game for the PSP called Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Impact. Why is this important? It is because the main idea of creating this game was to give the players who were not able to buy Storm 2 to enjoy the story and aesthetics of Storm 2 with a cheaper price and on the go. Regarding the game's reception, this game scored a 76 in Metacritic. A lot of reviewers praised this game's stunning visuals and the way how CC2 implemented anime-like visuals into the video game. Some complaints the reviewers had was the combat being too easy, the post-story content being bad, and the first part of the game remaining tedious because of some less than inspired game mechanics. This game as well had a collector's edition. This time the collector's edition included a CD disc which contained Storm 2's original soundtrack, DLC character Minato, and an exclusive laser cell art created by Masashi Kishimoto. Well, that's about it. What we can get from all of the interviews and videos of Kishimoto promoting this game is that they put a huge emphasis on the animations and making the manga and anime materials into the game, which in my opinion they did perfectly. To this day, this game's animation have not been surpassed. It was fun looking, reading and watching the interviews for making this video. This time the material was more available than previously. I'll leave the links in the description if you want to check them out as well. But yeah, that's all from me. I wish you all a nice day/evening. Bye guys.